Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that can change the course of your life today. Success is not hiding from you. It's not running away. It's standing in plain sight, waiting for one thing for you to try. You see, the difference between the people who succeed and the people who don't isn't that the successful people were born with more talent, more opportunity, or more luck. It's that they tried, and they didn't stop trying when it got hard. They didn't give up when they failed. They didn't say, maybe it's not for me. After the first rejection, they tried and kept trying. Sure, here are 6 keynotes from the speech. Success responds to consistent effort, not talent alone. Trying means committing, not dabbling. Failure is feedback, not a dead end. Discipline and resilience are built through trying. Success is a result, not a coincidence. Start now. Action creates momentum. Success responds to consistent effort, not talent alone. This is a principle that dismantles one of the most common and destructive myths in the world, the belief that success is reserved for the talented, the gifted, the chosen few. It's not. Talent may open the door, but effort keeps you in the room. And not just any effort, consistent effort. The kind that shows up when it's raining, when it's hard, when no one is watching and no one is applauding. There's a danger in putting too much weight on talent. When we believe talent is the secret ingredient, we excuse ourselves from trying. We say, I'm not good at that, or she's just naturally better, and we shrink from the challenge. But let me tell you, the most successful people you admire didn't get there because of some rare natural ability. They got there because they outworked everyone else. They kept showing up. They kept trying. They were consistent long enough to turn average into excellence. Effort is what sharpens talent. Without effort, talent is like an expensive car. With no gas, it looks good, but it's not going anywhere. But consistency, that's the fuel. That's what moves things. You can have average skills and still outperform someone more talented if you put in the work every single day. The person who practices every day will surpass the person who only shows up when they feel inspired. That's not motivation, that's discipline, that's consistency. That's what success honors. Success doesn't happen in bursts. It's not something you stumble into because you had a good day. It's the compound result of decisions, actions, and behaviors that are repeated consistently. When you do the right thing over and over, the right results eventually have to show up. That's a law. You don't get to skip the process. You don't get to bypass the grind. Consistency is the price you pay to be in the conversation. Think about the gym. You don't get strong because you lift heavy one time. You get strong because you lift repeatedly, often when your muscles hurt, when your body says no, and when your mind is screaming for you to quit. It's the exact same in business, in learning, in relationships, and in life. You don't master anything by dipping your toes in the water. You have to dive in and stay in long enough to grow into the person who can carry the weight of the success you say you want. This is why consistency beats talent every time. Talent may give you a head start, but if you stop running, the consistent person will pass you. They're not sprinting, but they're steady. They're showing up on the days they don't feel like it. They're making progress when no one else sees it. And that quiet, relentless effort is what transforms average into exceptional. Some of you are waiting until you feel ready, until you feel confident, until the stars align and you feel like your talent is enough. But you're wasting time. Confidence comes from competence, and competence comes from repetition. That's what consistent effort gives you. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be willing to keep going when most people quit. That's the secret. It's not glamorous. It's not flashy. But success honors those who don't break their promises to themselves, those who show up for their goals even when the results don't come immediately. Those who understand that every day you work at it, you get better, even if it's just by 1%, and 1% every day adds up. It stacks, it compounds, and suddenly, the person who started with less is now ahead, simply because they didn't stop. Most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can do in a year. That's the curse of inconsistency. We expect instant returns and forget that anything meaningful takes time. But those who commit to the long game, those who put in the reps day after day, they win. Not because they were born with it, but because they built it. Consistent effort is rare because it requires delayed gratification. It requires trust in a process that doesn't give instant rewards. It's hard, that's why most people won't do it, but that's also why those who do are rewarded in ways others only dream about. Trying means committing, not dabbling. There's a massive difference between testing the waters and diving all in. Too many people claim they're trying, when in reality, they're just experimenting. They dip their toe in, they make a small effort, and when they don't see quick results, they back away and call it failure. That's not trying, that's dabbling, and dabbling never produces mastery. It never builds momentum. It never leads to the transformation you're truly after. Commitment is when you eliminate the option to quit. It's when you say, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, I'm in. When you're committed, you're not looking for a way out. You're looking for a way forward. That's what real trying looks like. It's full engagement. It's not, I'll do this as long as it's easy. It's, I'll do this until it's done. When you dabble, you negotiate with your goals. You say, I'll try this for a little while and see if it works. But here's the problem, that mindset is already setting you up to quit. Because the moment things get uncomfortable, you pull back. You haven't decided that it's worth the cost. And success only honors the committed, not the curious. True commitment demands sacrifice. It demands time, energy, resources, focus. It requires you to say no to distractions, no to excuses, and sometimes no to good things so you can make room for great things. Dabbling doesn't require any of that. It's convenient, it's passive. It doesn't stretch you or demand the version of you that's capable of handling the life you say you want. When you commit, you move differently. You plan with intention, you act with urgency, you endure with resilience. Why? Because you've already decided quitting isn't an option. You're not asking if you'll succeed, you're asking how long it will take . That shift in mindset changes everything. It's no longer about chasing motivation. It's about honoring your decision. People who commit build consistency. They keep showing up, even when progress feels invisible. They understand that momentum is built in the mundane. It's built in the daily decisions that no one else sees. They do it scared, they do it tired, they do it without applause, because they know the promise is on the other side of perseverance. If you want to see a different outcome, you can't treat your goal like a hobby. Hobbies are optional. They get pushed aside when life gets busy. But commitment turns a goal into a priority, and priorities get protected. Priorities get scheduled. Priorities get done. Even when the feelings fade, the mission stays the same. The reason most people never reach their potential isn't because they didn't try, it's because they never committed. They flirted with the idea, they imagined the results, they started and stopped and started again. But at no point did they decide that they were all in . And until you go all in, you'll never tap into the depth of your ability. Commitment doesn't guarantee overnight success. It guarantees progress . And progress is what leads to growth. It's what builds your character, your confidence, your capacity. It's how you earn the strength required for the level you're pursuing. You can't fake commitment. You either are or you're not, and your actions always reveal the truth. If your effort is inconsistent, if your focus is scattered, if your language is full of maybes and somedays, that's dabbling. But if you show up, rain or shine, if you stay the course when things get messy, if you stop waiting for permission and just do the work, that's commitment. That's what trying really looks like. Failure is feedback, not a dead end. This single realization can shift the trajectory of your entire life. Most people view failure as something to avoid, something shameful, something that disqualifies them from future success. But the truth is, failure is one of the most powerful tools for growth if you're willing to see it that way. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. It's not a stop sign. It's a signpost pointing you in a better direction. When you fail, you're not being punished, you're being educated. You're being shown what didn't work, so you can learn what will. Every setback carries a lesson. Every mistake holds information. Every closed door leads to better alignment if you're paying attention. The problem isn't failure itself. The problem is how we interpret it. If you see failure as final, you stop trying. But if you see failure as feedback, you adjust and keep going. You don't build resilience by winning every time. You build it by failing, learning, and rising again. You build it by falling short and deciding you're still in the game. That's how real confidence is formed, not by pretending you're perfect, but by proving to yourself that you can survive what didn't go right. Every time you get back up, you grow stronger, wiser, more prepared for the next challenge. Failure exposes weaknesses, and that's a gift, because what's exposed can be strengthened. You'll never improve what you're not willing to face. People run from failure because it hurts. It challenges their identity, but growth begins the moment you stop hiding from the truth and start learning from it. Feedback isn't always pretty. Sometimes it stings, but that sting is where transformation begins. Think about this. The most successful people in any industry have failed more times than most people have tried. They aren't successful because they avoided failure. They're successful because they used failure. They studied it. They didn't take it personally. They didn't make it their identity. They took the lesson, made the adjustment, and moved forward. Failure is honest. It doesn't lie to you. It tells you where you're weak, where you're lazy, where you're unprepared. It tells you what doesn't work, what's not aligned, what needs to be corrected. If you're smart, you listen. If you're wise, you let it shape you. But if you ignore it, if you take it as defeat, you miss the opportunity for refinement. You miss the wisdom that only failure can teach. There are things you will never learn in success that you can only discover in failure. Humility, patience, adaptability, strategic thinking, inner strength, these are not developed on the mountaintop. They're forged in the valley. You can't microwave maturity. You can't shortcut wisdom. You earn them in the trenches, and failure is the teacher that won't let you skip class. Don't fear failing, fear being the same person next year because you were too afraid to take risks. Fear settling for comfort when growth requires discomfort. If you're failing, it means you're trying. It means you're in motion. It means you're chasing something beyond your current reach. That alone puts you ahead of the crowd, because most people are so afraid to fail they don't even start. They stay stuck in the illusion of safety while their dreams slowly die. Every failure you face is shaping you into someone stronger. Every no is moving you closer to the right yes. Every door that closes is redirecting you to something better, but only if you stay open to the feedback. Only if you stay in the game. You've got to stop asking, "What does this say about me?" and start asking, "What does this teach me?" That's the mindset that transforms failure from a wall into a window. That's how you turn a breakdown into a breakthrough. Discipline and resilience are built through trying. They are not traits you're born with. They are developed in the moments when you decide to keep going, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's inconvenient, even when it doesn't look like it's working. Trying, real, intentional, persistent trying, is the training ground for both discipline and resilience. You can't read about them, talk about them, or wish them into your life. You have to earn them, and trying is the proving ground. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. It's waking up early when your bed feels more comfortable than your goals. It's making the call, showing up to practice, sending the email, reading the chapter, saying no to distractions not because you feel like it, but because you've made a decision. That decision is tested every time you try, every time you take another step toward your goal. And the more you try, the stronger your discipline becomes, because you're reinforcing the identity of someone who follows through. But you won't always succeed when you try, and that's where resilience is born. Resilience doesn't grow when things are smooth. It grows in the friction, in the resistance, in the moments you feel like quitting but choose to continue. Every setback, every delay, every unexpected challenge is a chance to build mental toughness. Most people fold when it gets hard, but if you stay in it, you start to realize that you can endure more than you thought. That realization is powerful. It gives you confidence, not based on hype, but based on evidence asterisk. You've been through it, and you're still standing asterisk. Trying requires you to face frustration, to experience failure, and still lean in. That repeated exposure is what strengthens your core. You become less reactive. You stop being thrown off by every obstacle. You don't break down as easily because you've been in the storm before and you learned how to stand. Resilience isn't stubbornness, it's strategy. It's knowing that the process is working asterisk on asterisk you, even when it's not working asterisk for asterisk you yet. The truth is, discipline and resilience aren't built in grand, dramatic moments. They're built in the small, unseen decisions you make every day. They're built in repetition, in showing up when no one claps, in following through when no one's watching, in pushing through discomfort and continuing to try long after the excitement has faded. Trying becomes the workout. Every rep of effort shapes your mindset. Every act of follow through carves out strength of character. People want results, but they don't want the process. They want growth, but they resist the pressure that forges it. Trying is the grind that teaches you to embrace that pressure. Because once you've gone through enough of it, you start to crave the growth that comes with it. You realize that who you become is far more valuable than what you achieve. Trying refines you. It chisels away your excuses, your weakness, your indecision, and reveals something stronger underneath. Discipline will carry you when motivation disappears. Resilience will sustain you when progress is slow. And both are the byproducts of showing up again and again, of trying when you don't feel like it, when you've failed before, when it would be easier to walk away. That's where the real growth happens. That's where champions are made, not in the spotlight, but in the struggle. Every time you try and don't give up, you're putting down roots. You're building endurance. You're wiring your brain and your body to push through difficulty. That's how people become unstoppable, not by luck or inspiration, but by developing the inner strength that only comes from consistent effort under pressure. Trying is the tool. Discipline and resilience are the result. Success is a result, not a coincidence. It doesn't just happen. It isn't some mysterious event that randomly falls into someone's lap. It is the natural outcome of intentional actions repeated over time with purpose and persistence. People look at success stories and think they got lucky or they were in the right place at the right time, but that's just an excuse to avoid responsibility. Success doesn't come from chance, it comes from asterisk cause asterisk. Everything in life follows a principle of sowing and reaping. What you plant consistently, you eventually harvest. So if you see someone with big success, What you're really seeing is the visible harvest of years of invisible effort. The early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifice, the discipline, the decisions that nobody else saw. That's the root system beneath the surface that made the visible fruit possible. And when you understand that, you stop envying outcomes and start respecting processes. If success were a coincidence, it would be unrepeatable, but that's not what we see. High performers in every field, business, sports, education, art, produce success again and again. Why? Because they've built systems. They've learned how to create results on purpose. They know that when they follow certain principles, results follow. That's why success is not an accident. It's not reserved for the lucky, it's available to the committed. Success is built with decisions, not dreams. Everyone dreams, everyone hopes, but only the few who turn intention into disciplined action see the outcomes they talk about. And the beautiful part is, once you realize success is a result, you also realize it's within your control. It's not based on external conditions, it's based on what you do consistently. It's not a lottery ticket, it's a formula. You want financial success. There are proven principles: budgeting, investing, adding value, managing risk, creating leverage. You want health success. There are principles: nutrition, movement, sleep, hydration, stress management. You want relational success. There are principles: communication, empathy, trust, consistency. These results don't just happen. They are the output of people following the right input over time. And here's the catch. Most people know what to do. They've read the books, watched the videos, taken the courses. But knowledge isn't what produces results, application does. It's not about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know. And doing it once won't cut it. You have to do it until it works. That's how results are earned, not in the first attempt, but in the repeated, refined, relentless trying that moves you closer every day. When people say success just happened, for someone, what they really mean is, I didn't see what they were doing in private. The hours of practice. The failed launches, the rejections, the self-doubt they overcame, the relationships they built, the money they lost and learned from, the iterations they pushed through. That's not coincidence, that's process. That's cause and effect. That's how results are created. Believing that success is a result gives you power. It takes you out of victim mode. You stop waiting for the world to hand you something, and you start building it with your own hands. You start realizing that every small action counts. Every disciplined decision adds up. Every moment you choose effort over excuse moves you one step closer. There's no magic in the result, the magic is in the repetition. The moment you stop chasing luck and start chasing principles is the moment success becomes predictable. You might not know exactly when it will show up, but you know it will show up if you keep doing what works. That's not hype, that's math. That's how compound effort works. It doesn't just add, it multiplies. And when it finally breaks through, it looks like success came out of nowhere. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was earned. You'll know it was a result. You don't need permission to go after your goal. Too many people are waiting for approval, for support, for validation, for someone to say, you're ready. But here's the truth. No one is coming to hand you your moment. No one is coming to unlock the door for you. The opportunity you want is on the other side of your own decision to start. You don't need a title, a degree, or a nod from someone you think is more qualified. You need courage, you need initiative, you need to give yourself permission. Waiting for someone else to believe in you is a trap. If you're waiting for people to sign your dream before you move, you'll never move. Because most people won't understand your vision. It wasn't given to them. It was given to you. That means it's your responsibility to act on it. Your goal is not a group project. The dream in your heart doesn't need a vote of confidence, it needs action. It needs your yes. There are people who could be changing the game, making impact, building legacies, but they're stuck in self-doubt because they're waiting for someone to discover them. They don't realize they have the power to announce themselves. You don't need to be discovered, you need to be decisive. The world doesn't move for the hesitant, it moves for the bold. If you keep asking, am I ready? You'll stay stuck. Readiness is a decision, not a feeling. If you wait until you feel confident, you'll wait forever. Confidence is built after you start, not before. It's the result of repeated action. It grows as you move, as you learn, as you fall and get back up. You don't step into a goal with full clarity, you build clarity through motion. That's how momentum works. You might think you need more knowledge, more money, more time, but what you really need is to start with what you have. Movement creates access. Action opens doors. Trying with what you've got is better than waiting for perfect conditions that may never come. No one gets to skip the beginning. No one gets to bypass discomfort. But those who act despite the uncertainty separate themselves from the crowd. You can't keep outsourcing your power. You can't keep waiting for someone else to name your worth. You've got to claim it. You've got to decide that the dream is valid because you believe in it not because someone else does. That's when things start to shift. When you stop asking for permission and start owning your direction. When you realize the life you want won't be handed to you, it will be built by you. The most successful people didn't get a green light, they created one. They didn't ask, can I? They said, watch me. They understood that if you're always waiting for the right time or the right person, you'll live your whole life in neutral. But if you say yes to yourself, you unlock something powerful, self-leadership. That's what moves mountains. Trying isn't just about action, it's about agency. It's about refusing to wait for someone else to say you're worthy. It's about understanding that your vision matters, your voice matters, and your effort matters, even if no one sees it yet. You're not here to be discovered, you're here to create, and that starts when you decide to stop asking and start doing. So don't just try commit . Don't just hope move . Don't wait for the perfect moment create one . Every ounce of progress, every breakthrough, every win is waiting on the other side of your consistent action. Success doesn't belong to the lucky, it belongs to the bold, to those who show up when it's hard, to those who fail forward, to those who try with intention, discipline, and fire. Your future isn't decided by chance, it's shaped by what you do next. So stop hesitating, start building, try like everything depends on it, because it does. Success is waiting for you, now go meet it.